if you're lactose intolerant, you can't watch this movie because it's got so much cheese.
Sorry, yeah, I gotta go. You guys can do this on your own now.
Nope, end it there. You agree 100%. I'm right. Okay, before we get into this episode, we have one quick call to action for everybody here. James, why don't you tell them what it is?
Yep, we're trying to grow our base on YouTube specifically. Many other, obviously, we want more listeners everywhere, but YouTube specifically. So if you could please subscribe, that would help us a lot. We really appreciate it, and thank you again for tuning in.
Guys, it's free. It's one little button. Just go push subscribe, click it, hit it. It helps us out a lot. We appreciate it.
It's red.
It's red. You know where
Who
it is.
doesn't like red buttons?
Yeah. On that note, to another episode of The Flicks Fellas. Hello, fellas. I'm Fella Joe, joined by Fella Kevin.
Hi.
And Fella James.
Hi.
I hate that intro, but we're going to stick with it.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's the first time in a while we've introduced ourselves by name, because I know the last ones I've edited, there's nowhere to really put our name title cards, so they've just been non-existent.
I've also just been not doing that. I don't know if it's laziness
What? It
or...
looks so cool.
Well, the last one I edited was Outlaw King, which we were all in person, so it's hard to do it all three at the same time.
That's true.
And
Make a new one, Joe.
Make a new what?
Like a new title card for when we're all next to each
Oh,
other.
I
You
could
lazy
do that.
piece of
You're
shit.
right. I have been lazy. I apologize to you guys, and I apologize to our
Unreal.
fans.
I don't think you can say that, Kevin. I don't think you can call Joey out for being lazy.
Yeah, Kevin.
I don't think you can.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Who consistently gets our workout late?
That's true. That's true.
It's good. I was supposed to get clips
James
out.
is the only one who doesn't get anything not late.
Never missed an episode. Never not been in an episode of Flicks Fellas. Never missed an upload. I don't think. I've taken it one down one time.
Aren't you so fucking special, James?
We should probably talk about the movie at some point.
Yeah, let's talk about today's movie.
Yeah.
It is a 2021 Netflix original. Came out October 27th, called Hypnotic. Directed by Matt Angel, Suzanne Coote. Written by Richard Dovidio, I think that's right.
Sounds Italian.
Starring Kate Siegel, Jason O'Mara, and Dule Hill. About a young woman seeking self-improvement who enlists the help of a renowned hypnotherapist. But after a handful of intense sessions, she discovers unexpected and deadly consequences. Now, the writer, Richard Dovidio, again, don't know if that's right or not, he also is known
Probably
for
not.
writing The Call, which we talked about in a previous episode. Yes, I thought you'd enjoy that, Kevin.
That
Similar
is a
to
good
the
one.
movie The Guilty. So let's get right into our first reactions on this movie. It's about an hour and a half timeline, and I'm going to
Shorter one.
throw this one to James.
I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be alone here. This movie was a train wreck, but I'm gonna be honest. It's not a train wreck. It wasn't an unwatchable train wreck, right? I think that this movie, we've watched bad movies, right? And this is a bad movie. It is. I think the acting was subpar. I think that the writing was subpar. I think a lot of the lines and the scenes are kind of cringy. But there were points when I laughed. I laughed out loud because the movie was trying to take itself too seriously, and I don't know. I enjoyed it. I will say that I actually did enjoy this movie, but definitely not for the reason the movie intended.
I agree with a lot of what you said. I don't know if I'd go as far as to say I enjoyed this movie, but it wasn't the worst thing I've ever watched.
You guys are being way too generous with this movie.
Yeah.
The writing was trash. The acting was trash.
And it's hard. I guess it's hard to go too hard on him, because I like the main character. I thought she was really good in Hill House, although she plays the same character, I guess, in this one. But then I also love Dule Hill. Psych is one of my favorite shows of all time.
Dude.
So it's hard for me to talk shit on Burton Guster. But
I don't
you
think he
almost
was
have to,
bad.
because he was talking like he was Batman at some points. But yeah, I guess you're right, Joe. I was being too easy on it. This movie was trash, but top 10 on Netflix. They're really trying to
No
peddle
way.
It, so.
It's
No
brand new.
way
It's been
it's
out
top
for
10.
3 days. They've been
Yeah.
promoting a lot of it. That's why we're here, though.
It's not that.
We are
just
here
push-
to warn people against
exactly.
Netflix promotions that just because it's top 10 doesn't
Gross.
mean it's worth watching. We're going to talk about it. We're going to decide on that definitively. But
You know what we're like? You guys ever
Jesus?
seen people like
Oh.
sifting for gold? Well, yeah, that too. But like, they sift for gold, they dig up all the muck, and then they shake the muck through the sifter.
Yeah.
We're that sifter. We're eating all this shit, and sometimes we find something good.
Sometimes there's a little nugget of gold in there.
So, Joe, what do you think? I think I know what you thought, but
I get what James means is that there was like kind of an entertaining aspect to it. It took about 45, 50 minutes to get into it because the acting and writing was so bad that you just eventually, when you're forced to watch something, you get through it. But it was bad. So,
well, and like it's so predictable too. Like even when they get to like the one part that was like semi good, like the shit that happens is
there's
predictable.
no depth
You're
to
like,
this movie
like,
either.
They make super suspect decisions all the time.
That is what I'll leave it up on, is that like I hate movies, and like this is a lot of movies, so I guess I can't say I hate movies like this, but I hate when it's so obvious that the whole plot of the movie hinges on their fucking blatant stupidity.
Their flawed logic.
Like,
yeah.
Right. And it's just like, that's where, when it's so in your face and so blatant, when you're like, literally it doesn't make sense for them to do that, that's when I'm like, this movie fucking sucks. And that's why, like, I get frustrated with this movie. I said to Julia so many times, I was like, these characters are too stupid for their
But
own
it's
good.
funny,
like,
though.
it's
It was
just-
fun. I can say that I
It
did
is.
laugh. I did, like, verbally laugh at one scene in this movie.
I think we've all expressed our interest and our. You know what? I want to do a favor.
disinterest.
I want each of you guys to say one thing, minus the length of the movie, that you enjoyed about it, and then give me your decision on if you're going to click play or keep scrolling.
Huh.
Sounds good.
That's good, because we've gotten caught in like lies almost, where like one of us will say, "Oh, we're gonna hit play," and then the other two are like, "Why?"
Yeah.
And then you can't think of a reason
Do
why.
you mean all the time when I say I am not agreeing with you guys?
Precisely.
What? Oh fuck, that's
Are you-
hard. James, do you have one?
I'm good to go, but I don't think I should go first. I think Kevin or Joey should go first.
I'll say the story, the plot of it it was pretty unique in the sense that I haven't seen like a big hypnotherapist storyline, and it was interesting, executed horribly. So positive with a negative.
My positive thing, and I have said it before, is it's actually, it isn't it's an easy movie to watch, but like I think that they give you, like, the production quality is good enough, and like there's enough like either points where there's like a very cringy bad guy scene, or like a funny cringy, you know what I mean, or like a very like stereotypical line, or like obviously a horrible choice by a main character, that I think that this movie isn't unwatchable. I think it's actually very watchable. It's just not an amazing movie. Joey, did you say click play? Or
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I meant to say I'm going to keep scrolling on this. So, James.
Yeah. I actually think on this one I'm going to soft click play.
It's really, that was a really hard question for me. I agree with what you guys have said. I think that last scene in the movie, or the climax, does a decent job at just like keeping you on the edge of your seat. Like, I was engaged. But, and like, honestly, I can see people saying they're going to watch this movie and that they're going to enjoy watching it, just if they like that campy shit. And like James said, it's like a TV movie, not a time commitment. Like, I get all that, and I'm with that. I have a hard time saying click play, though, because I think there have been, and I'd have to think about it for a second, but I know there have been examples of, movies that lean into the campy horror and like do a really good job with it. And this isn't one of them. I'm saying scroll, but I'm not gonna really make fun of people other than James for saying play.
Well, I mean, like, if I said scroll, you'd still make fun of me, so I don't really know.
Yeah,
any
that's
metric.
fair, that's fair.
That's what the secret motivation behind this show is.
Yeah, it's just roasting
rip
me.
James.
It's-
Except usually the Instagram lately has been rip Kevin.
Yeah, it's
like
true.
that's, as of late, I don't
dude,
think we've roasted.
You know why? Because you have no hand in the Instagram.
That is so
Like
true.
me and James curate everything that goes on there, so of course it's going to be review.
Yeah, dude. You want to throw some punches? Get in the ring,
Yeah.
dude.
That is so funny. That's too damn true. You're right. I recognize. Hey, I recognize.
Okay, well, let's take a quick word from our sponsor, and we will get back with more spoilers and in-depth analysis of the movie, after this.